Okay guys, so we are moving now to our front-end part where we will be developing our feed view controller. We are now going to the Xcode and we are heading to the main storyboard. Okay, so I'll find among the objects the object which called UI table view controller. I'll simply select and drag it to our storyboard. Then I'll go to the top, I'll select editor. Then here we have embed into navigation controller. Make sure that your table view is selected. Editor, embedding, navigation controller. Okay, very good. So immediately what I will do is I'll select the tab bar controller. That is the one. This is the tab bar controller. I'll hold Control left mouse click drag from tab bar controller and release it on the navigation controller and selected view controller. So let it be one of the view controller of our tab bar. Okay, so that is the one. As you know, the feed in the Facebook, this is the first icon. So I'll just simply double click on this and drag it to be the first one. Okay, so that is excellent. Another step that I would like to do is, so I would like to copy these objects which you have found. These are the icons of the feed, the same like in the Facebook. We'll select this, then we'll go to the assets here in our project. So select it with the left mouse click and simply drag it to the assets folder. Okay, very good. So you now got a two folder with a different size for retina and the higher and smaller resolutions. So select the feed and feed underscore selector, render as select your template so we can programmatically change the color of the shape. Okay, we're now going back to main source storyboard. So now we need to assign this icon to be the icon of the view controller. So select the bottom, navigate the bottom bar at the bottom of the navigation controller. Go to the attributes inspector. Here, the image. Select here feed. That is the one. Beautiful. So select this item. Here, selected image, make it feed underscore selected. Very good. So let's now remove the title for this. Just remove that. Excellent. Then we're going to the size inspector. At the bottom, we want to make it centered. We want to make it a little bit down. So that's why we'll write minus 10 pixels. Here we go. It's centered now. Amazing. So even all the objects, they are minus 10 pixels down. Beautiful. And another thing that I would like to do is I'd like to program to work with the appearance of our bar. So I'll select in the here attributes inspector. I gonna select our Facebook brand color. Okay, excellent. So after that, we want to show the feed in our view controller. So for the feed, there are two options of the post. One post is with the picture and another one is without the picture. So we have used the different ways in the home view controller and the guest view controller, where in the guest view controller, we're loading just one cell, which is actually a unique one. And in the home view controller, we've got two cells, which are one for the, one cell is for the picture cell and another one is for not pictured cell. We'll now simply, so that is our view control, that is our feed controller. So we'll now just simply copy these cells from the home view controller and we will integrate them to our feed view controller. Okay, good. So in the left panel here, I opened the table view controller and here I have a no picture cell and picture cell. So I just copy these two here, make sure that it's selected. Then we're coming to our table view controller, select our table view controller, edit and click here, paste. Okay, so that are our two icons. Not icons, two cells. So the default one, will just simply remove it. Okay, so that is brilliant. Okay, now we will create here, in case if you want, we will, for the navigation our item, we'll write here feed, and here we'll select the navigation controller. We'll go to the attributes inspector. Here is a text color. That is the one. Title color white. And here is the one, title, color, white. That is it. Okay, beautiful. Then we will create now dedicated class for this view controller. So right click on your Facebook project, new file, Cocoa Touch class. It's gonna be a subclass of UI table view, and I'm gonna name it feed VC, which means feed view controller. Hit enter one more time. Okay, great. So we now need to associate this the latest created class with this view controller. So select your view controller in the main storyboard, go to class inspector here, in the class inspector declare a feed VC, which is a feed view controller. Okay, so now we need to work on the programmatic part. So what I'm doing, I'll just open now home VC with a double click in the separate window. Uh, I'll go just to feed VC. I'll just call assistant editor, and here we can, let's say, open our home view controller. Okay, so first of all, guys, we need to declare objects that will store all this information. So it's a post related object, post objc. And also we need color objects because the color is the one which showing the like button. Okay, view did load, it's a first loading function. Below down I have a home view controller. Okay, then I'll scroll down. For the view did load we need a dynamic cell height, means if we want to change the cell depending on the text or the text yes in it, or depending on the object. These comments I'll remove. So then after we need to load posts, guys. We need to load posts. Okay, so one more thing what we can do is, if you want, we can set navigation bar hidden to let it look more fancy. So I'll copy this, view will appear, and I'll post it right after view did load. Okay, so load new post, we don't need it. Load user, we do not need this as well. Configure Ava image view, we don't need it. Ava image view, cover image view tab, we don't need it. Show actions, we don't need it. So I'm scrolling down to the function which will be number of rows in section, guys. By the way, this did receive memory warning. We don't need it. Number of section. We will remove this code because it will be by default just in one section. Here, number of rows means total number of cells will be equals to total posts dot count. Okay, great. So then we will go to the function which called cell forward index path. I'll uncomment this function here in my feed view controller. I'll delete the entire content of this function. Then I'll copy the entire content of this function from the home view controller, the entire comment till including return cell here at the bottom, and including these two curly brackets. I'll copy this, and then after I'll insert it. By the way, in view in here we don't need a friends. By the way, I'll show you what do we need. Start copying from this one, from that one, picture URL for the section 2, So start copying from this code where we're checking picture URL is empty or not. So then if based on this is it empty or not, we'll decide what to go with. So include one curly bracket. Okay, now we'll just paste it here. Okay, here we go. So this is how it looks. I'll just take you through. So we're checking the picture URL, is it empty or not? If it is empty, so it means there is no image, so then we're loading no picture cell, and this is the entire logic of associating all the data. So if it is not empty, means there is a picture in the post, then we're loading a picture cell. Okay, very good. So now we need to move to the load posts function. So that is the one. It comes right after self-forward index path. I'll just select the entire function, load post. I'll just paste it right after self.index path, which we just now programmed. Okay, so that is brilliant. So after load post, we have a load more function also for the pagination. Just select this entire function, copy this, and that will paste it right after load post. Okay, very good. So then we're scrolling down. Then we need to integrate scroll view did scroll. Right after load more, I'll insert scroll view did scroll function. Okay, so then also we need like button got clicked. It's a must. Okay guys, if you want, we can go with this later on, but nonetheless, okay. So I'm selecting like button clicked. Then I'm including prepare for segue as well to go to the comments view controller. Then I'm including options button clicked. So this is when we are for the actions which will be to complain. Okay, so that's it. So we're including prepare for segue, then like button clicked and option button clicked. Okay, I'll just close it, and here right after scroll view did scroll, I'll insert it. For the option button got clicked, I will remove the content because this will be only to send a report or complaint. And this for prepare for segue, it remains the same. Then this comment I'll just remove it as well. Okay, so this is approximately how our code looks like. So let's now call the load posts in the view did load. In view did load, we'll just call load posts. Offset will be 0, which initially we don't want to skip anything, or if you want, you can here make skip. Limit will be our limit. Okay, this means run all, or this means run functions or function once the application is loaded. So cell for number of rows, this means total number of cell. Also, I'll just simply write cell num, means number of cell. That one will be cell's configuration. So I'll write cell config. Okay, so there will be now a couple of changes which we need to do. So first of all, it will be an image view. In order to get the Ava image view in the home page, we are trying to get it from Ava, but here we'll do it in a different way. Okay, we are heading to the function which is called prepare for segue. Here we're declaring a new index path. This is index path row, so we're declaring new index path. Let index path equals to capital I index path. Select where the capital I. Open the round bracket, select the method row and section. Row will be index path row, section will be 0. Then the next line we'll write here, let cell equals to table view dot cell for index path. Cell for index path, the index path which we have just now declared. Okay. Here getting index of the cell where comment button has been pressed in order to access the cell and track the index. And here we will write cell.ava image view. This is what we're doing. And the same here will be cell.fullname label.text. Okay, so we will just now build and run to see are there any other errors we're gonna get or not. If so, we'll just simply update it. Okay, so there is something else, yeah, because we need to post it. We need to cast it, by the way, here. It will be a little bit complicated because it can be picture cell and no picture cell as well. Okay, so since we have two possible options, which is a picture cell and no picture cell, so I'll remove this cell and I'll remove this index path, and here instead of ava image view.image, I'll just pass the image, which will be ava's, then in the square brackets we'll write index path raw. Okay, about the full name, I'll just simply reload it here. So I'm going to the self-read index path where we are getting the full name. That is the one. I'll just copy this. I'll copy that one. Then I'll come down to the self-read index path. Here I'll just insert it, getting the full name. I'll write it like this, and we will assign it to the new variable, which is let full name will be equals to that one. This is how we'll make. And here, instead of index path dot row, we'll just write index path row together, like that, guys. Okay, and we will just pass this full name. Okay, let's now build and run. It shouldn't be an error, guys. Compiling all the changes that we have made. Okay, in programming, guys, we'll always need to think other ways we can go with. Here we'll remove this equal mark, so now it is in the correct format. Okay, so it got built, there are no errors. Actually, guys, since we have started developing everything in the very advanced way, and that we have a very unique code which is equal everywhere, so which makes everything is easier. Here we go. In the feed, guys, we are loading here everything. But the thing is that, as you see here, are loaded current posts, because in load posts we need to pass the action which will be a feed. Okay, so as you see, it looks very fancy here, especially for the iPhone X and the latest iPhone models. So here I'll put and in the post, and I'll write here action equals feed. So the same I will do for the load more. In the load you're in here in the body, I'll put and feed and action equals feed. Okay, let's now build and run to see this. And our application will be working, and the last moment for us will be to integrate the features of liking and doing a segue to the comments view controller and the option button for the post. Okay, so the feed first, I think it gets crashed. Guys, we're going to our PHP development environment and access.php. Here we need to load, guys, the text of the post. So I'll make a break here after user ID, then I'll write posts.text, comma, and I'll save it Command S in the function select for post. Okay, so we can now build and run. Now it will work, and everything will be fine. Okay, here we go, guys. That is really superb. That is really, really beautiful, guys. That is very cool. So we'll just check out this pagination. So everything is amazing, guys. That is really superb. So now as for the table view, I'll like just the background to make it of the group table view color. So we're going now to the main storyboard, and we will now select our table view, the feed table view. That is the one. Here select the table view itself, go to the attributes inspector, here the background, select grouped table view color, and then we'll build it run. Now it will look much more better than it was looking. Okay, and here we go. Now it looks really much more better. So the difference, if you haven't noticed the difference, so now you see the down there, it's every post it's separated. Okay, so that is very cool, guys. That is very, very cool. Very superb and excellent achievement. As you see, we can now scroll our feed, and here are all the posts, everything of all the user of our friends and of the followers. So now we'll go through the actions of the buttons. Well done, guys. Good job.